Hi there everyone, it's Charity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining me today for Inspired Thursday. So, I've been running these little interludes on a Thursday for a little bit. And over on my blog, there's a project share that I do with 3 other ladies. And so, on the back of that, I decided to challenge myself to use some of the things that they've done and do something different with it. So today we're going to work with Arrange a Wreath. I've been dying to play with this, and Heather has used this on her card today, and I thought, right, now's the time to get it out. So this is Arrange a Wreath, beautiful set of photopolymer stamps. For all season really, so you've got your partridge and your pears sort of thing, and then you've got some florals, excuse me, and then you've got Easter wreaths, a few hearts there for Valentine's as well, and then some accompanying sentiments that are suitable for all those occasions as well. So they're totally adorable, aren't they? I love this stamp. These are the coordinating dies. So the wreaths themselves don't match the die, but stand alone really well. And this one has got an embossing element to it as well. And you've got all the flowers, eggs and doodahs, a little bow, this stunning flower as well. There isn't a coordinating stamp, but isn't that just gorgeous? I really like that. And then these little tiddly ones and some foliage, so, and a little heart, which is really nice. That's the one that Heather used. Really cute, love it. So we're playing with that, and then Jez was using the snowflakes for her pop-up card that she did. She's done one of these tri-cube pop-up thingies, which are easier to put together than they look. It's just not my cup of tea in terms of paper crafting, but she's done a super job. But she's used the snowflake wishes. Well, she certainly used the dies anyway. I can't remember if she used the stamp set or not. Really cute dies. But what she did also, she brought in the papers as well. Look at these papers. I don't think I've shown you the papers before. So here they are. Aren't they gorgeous? Some really lovely colours on there as well. Just try and get everything out of the way, so it won't fall over in the middle of the recording. So we've got basic Balm Blue, Pool Party, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, Coastal Cabana, Highland Heather, and the Whisper White going through the whole thing. And isn't it just stunning? Little teeny ones, then you've got this more sort of watercolory kind of look. Isn't that stunning? Coastal Cabana, lovely. That sort of wash, the sort of tie-dyed snowflakes on there. More sort of washed out ones with the Balmy Blue and the Coastal Cabana. Nice splodgy background there. More of the Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy coming through on this one. Oh, this Pacific Point in this as well. That was the one I missed out. I knew there was another blue. Pacific Point is the other brighter blue in that one. Just absolutely stunning papers. 12 double-sided sheets, so you'll get loads and loads out of that. And so the person I haven't spoken about is Jill, and Jill made an easel card for her project. So I'm making an easel card, and her colour theme was purple. So I've picked out the designer series paper from the pack that's got a bit more of the Highland Heather tones in it to bring in those elements too. So we shall start. I've done a bit of the prep ahead of time because there's quite a bit of die cutting on this, because of the design I want to make. Oh, sorry, I'm going to sneeze again. Excuse me. I do beg your pardon. Okay, so So it's like I say, I've done a bit of cutting already, so I just want to move some stuff out of the way first. Right, this is the card base I've got. Okay. Oh, I've got a crease on there. Have I got a crease on there? Oh, anyway, it won't matter. This is a, as it sits here, is a normal card base. Scored it, cut and scored it exactly the same way. But what I've also done is put a score line across the middle at about 3 inches. So the idea is that this panel will lift up like this, and there'll be something there to hold it up, to make it like a sort of stand-up kind of jobby. Okay. I'm having some designer series paper on the inside, and I've chosen this particular portion. Still got the purple on it, but it's light enough to write on, so it can go on the inside, and then my stopper's going to go somewhere on there, to be determined as we put the card together. We've got some paper cut for the background on here. This is going to be mostly covered, but what I wanted was, when it was stood up, I wanted this panel to have some decoration to it, so we've cut those as well. So the inner portion is basically the same size as a normal card layer, so 4 by 5 3/4. These two pieces started out as sort of regular size. I trimmed the width. I only wanted them slightly shorter, so they're actually 4 1/16 width. If you've got the Stampin' Up trimmer, that is very easy to achieve. The bottom one is 3 inches high, and just sits on there. And the top one I made 2 5/8. So it's not quite half, but that's how it turned out. The score line probably isn't that critical, somewhere in the middle, and then cut your pieces of paper to match. Okay, so that's those bits. In fact, do you know what? We can actually probably put these bits together right now. There's no reason why we can't. Some Stampin' seal. Along there. Like so. And we'll put the bottom piece on. Because it's only a fraction smaller, just taking that right up to there. You could have left this in one piece, but I think the fold would have been more difficult to have over with DSP over it. I thought about using a coloured card base as well, but I just wanted to. I like white card bases. Call me old fashioned if you like, but that's what I like. Oop, don't stick it down just yet. I'm just trying to make sure the border looks something like straight with the bottom half, so it doesn't look wonky when it's folded down. And that will do. So that's our card base done, okay? Alright. Looking good already, I think. Okay. So what goes on the top here? So I have pulled in some coloured cardstock to put on the front. So most of that bottom portion is going to be covered, you see, but at least you still get the nice pattern on the back. So this piece has ended up 5 5/8 by 3 7/8 of an inch, and then I've got a white layer to go over that, 5 1/2 by 3 3/4, and then some complementary DSP. This is the more without the snowflakes on, the same one that went on the inside. This one ended up being 3 5/8 by 5 3/8 of an inch. So that's our layer for the top. So we're going to sandwich those together now, get those all layered up. If you want to add any ribbon, this might be a good time to do it between some of these layers. a bit wonky, but right. I think the white tulle ribbon would be really cool mixed in with this. So that's all nice and straightforward in terms of layering, but what we want to do is we don't want to stick it to the whole front of the card, we only want to stick it to the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to actually use some wet glue for that. Because it's quite a, you know, people are going to be bending and folding it. I want that to be nice and strong. So I'm just putting that on the bottom portion of the card, pretending it's one layer, and just laying that on so it's straight, and then it'll fold back like so. So at the moment it won't stand up because we don't have the stopper here, but there'll be a stopper there for it to stand up. Okay, like so. Okay, and it looks pretty at the back as well. Could put some paper there if you wanted to, don't think it's particularly necessary. Okay, is everyone okay with that? Okay, that's brilliant. So die cutting wise then, I've already cut this particular die just in Whisper White. Wanted it to be lifted off the background, and I thought using the colour might make it sink back in. I've also cut the little bow, and I've used the Highland Heather because that's the colour I want to sort of emanate from here. And I've started die cutting some snowflakes from the Snowflake Splendor. So I knew I wanted several, so rather than you watch me die cut a whole load of stuff, I've already done some of them, but we are going to do some of them now, so that anyone who hasn't seen die cutting before can see it. So these little guys were a matching Stampin die, so those perfectly coordinate. These guys, the die does not match any of the stamped images, but I decided just to go for it, and I'll show you the stamps and the dies in a moment. But what you end up with is kind of it's a white snowflake with purpley bits on it, if you like. So it just gives it a bit more interest than it just being plain white. So I thought that was cute. So that's what we're going to do. Didn't particularly want them solid colours either. Okay, so those ones are ready to go. So what we're going to do is stamp our other ones in. I've used Pool Party as the blue colour. That's what I think's in the background on this when I was comparing it. There may be a bit of balmy blue, but I felt like the Pool Party was the colour that was coming through the most. And we're going to stamp those on this scrap of cardstock. Scraps are perfect for this kind of thing. Okay, and then these are the dies. So you can see that they don't match perfectly to those images, but close enough. Close enough. So I'm just gonna wiggle this around so it looks like it's even. I was going by. Sorry, I just need to get my head over the die a minute. There's like little spokes in the middle that I was using as my reference point to line it up. That one's going to go like that. And the same with this one. There's some holes there that look like I'm lining up those spokes so they cross through. She says, but she can't see them. Oh, it's because it's not the same. Right, okay. Oh, that's it, got it. So just looking, I'm looking in these little holes here to line that up. You could have just stamped them in coloured cardstock. Do whatever you want. You could just leave them plain white if you like. I'm just going to just quickly explain for people who haven't seen die cut machine. This is the new Stampin Cut and Emboss, and it's easy as 1, 2, 3. So there's a thick base platform that you use all the time, number 1. When you're using thin dies, you also need number 2. It's your kind of thin die adapter equivalent. And then you have a number 3 plate, a cutting plate that you cut into, and a second plate, number 3 if you like, that sandwiches them together. And it's the pressure of that sandwich going through the rollers that cuts the cardstock. Okay, so that was a very quick explanation of how that works. But yeah, so for regular die cutting, just 1, 2, 3. It's got a nice smooth action to it. Very nice machine. Very nice. Okay, so those just slide off there. All the little centres just fall out beautifully. Just getting those off my work desk so they don't end up on my card somewhere. And there we have it. So we've got 2 each of these, 2 each of those, and 2 each of these to mess about with our layout. Okay, and we've just got to decide how we're going to get all these things down really, and then a sentiment. One or two of these might end up forming the stopper. Haven't decided yet, haven't got that far ahead. This wreath die, I am just going to put some dabs of glue on the larger sections where there's an opening. I'm not going to be too concerned about trying to get the whole thing stuck down flat, because it will add a little bit of movement and dimension to the card. So literally just some specks of glue have gone around there to hold it in place. The glue is very strong, probably absolutely fine, and it's going to go somewhere there, wherever it lands, about there. A bit more to the top than the bottom. You see how, you know, by not tacking down all the leaves, you just get a little bit of motion in there. Okay, I think my little bow's definitely going to go at the bottom, so let's put him in place again. I'm only going to secure it by the centre. I think I might even give him a bit of a bend. So he lifts up a bit. These leaves would look great. I could have used the shimmer cardstock. That would have given it a bit of something without adding any extra colour. Okay, and now it's the fussing about with what we want on here. You know what? Now I'm looking at this colour again. It looks more like balmy blue now, but yeah, I don't think it matters that much. What do we think? Do we like these? They blend in a little bit, don't they? What do we think? Do you think we need them in solid colour? Should we cut a couple in solid colour? Some pool party here. Or should we use some balmy blue? No, I think it is balmy blue. Balmy blue. There's a lot of crafting on the hoof, alright. Change of plan. That's no worries. I'm going to get this tiny one out as well. Do that one. Oops. Just quickly die cut some more of those. Because I can. I keep all my cardstock in one of my dies has just popped off onto the floor at the moment. It's an IKEA letter sorter thing, and because it's got 5 sections and we've got 5 colour families, that's how I store my dies. Not dies, what do you call it? Cardstock. Oh yeah, I think I like that better. What do you think? I think they just pop out a little bit more, don't they? Yep. Let's save those ones. I think these little ones will be okay. And I might do, I've just got the tiniest bit of Highland heather left. Which I thought I might use as a sentiment backing. But it turned out it's for snowflakes instead. Got little pieces of all the little centres have popped out everywhere. So there was me thinking I was going to save you watching me doing a whole lot of die cutting. And then I changed the plan. See? This is what happens. So, yes, I do think they look better, don't they? And I think we'll add a couple of those in afterward as well. And I think we're going to need these boys again to create our stopper, which we can just quickly do. All the little tiny pieces off the die cut machine. If you have the pieces on the die cut machine, they will emboss into the back of your card as you roll it through, so you'll end up with these funny little raised bits everywhere and you'll wonder where they came from. Right, let's finish assembling this then. I think that layout was cool, so we'll do that. Again, just put in some dabs of glue on the centres. This one might need them on the edges because it's a bit more room. Just a couple of dots. In between the those little leaves, overlapping ever so slightly. Each other, so they look like they're just falling down. And I want a couple of these ones. This is a pool party one. Oh, I'm not sure I need the pool party ones actually. It's not going to look right if I add those on. Pressing that down slightly because it's raised, it's just going to take a minute just to adhere down. I think I'll put this one up here. There we go. There we go. That's how we're looking at the moment with our Snowflake Wreath. Okay. And then I want some something down here to hold it up. And I think we might be able to get away with. Shall we see if we can get away with a mini dimension on there if I can find them? Yeah, I think we can, you know. You want something that's slightly raised to create the stopper. So it catches the cord. Oops. A little harder to get the backs off because they're so small. So what you want to do is position your card at the angle you think you want it to stand up. And you want to place your little additional embellishments down there. Suppose we'll hold those up like that, but they're not so bulky that when you fold the card down it's going to be too squished, like so. Okay, a bit hard to show on camera because it's all kind of still yippy, if you know what I mean. Okay, and there we have it. So what we know we need to do now is add a sentiment, and I think what we need to do is just add that across the middle, and I think we need some white cardstock to do that. And what we're going to go with, we're going to go with Christmas wishes or something. Do we think? I've buried all my stamp sets. So this set's got a nice Merry Christmas in. Should we go with that? Which isn't too big. and I think we'll go with some Highland Heather ink. Like so. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer to just cut that into a little banner. Let's use the cutting blade rather than the score blade. Just using the cutting track to line it up. There we are, nice and easy. Loads of dies that you could use to do that as well, if you preferred. I think some mini dimensionals would go on there just perfect. Feels a little long on that side, doesn't it? I'm a perfectionist, aren't I? But you know, if you're going to do it, I'm going to do it right, yeah? And just off there to the side, to that. Little, just looking at it for myself as well. There we go. How do we like that then? Okay, I think I'll leave it at that. Don't think it requires anything else. I think it's probably going to get a little bit too busy if I put anything else on there. So that is how you can make an easel card, and I've used the Arrange a Wreath and the Snowflake wishes, stamp sets, stamp bundles, to create that, along with the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper. Okay, thanks ever so much for sticking with me. A bit of a longer video, a bit more in depth. All the links to the other ladies' projects are in the associated blog post, so do have a look at that post and check out their projects too. Some really great ideas to share on there. Okay, and until next time, I'll see you again. Take care of yourselves, stay safe. Okay, bye.